Okay. Did I? Or I record already?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I recorded already. But how you want me to send to you guys? Actually quite huge one, I think, the file.
By link also can.
By link. Haha, I know I put on YouTube. Okay, that'll be good.
Ah.
Huh? What? I put on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel if you want to watch videos.
I know.
What? I promoting my YouTube. Anyway, okay, so this file you can save as what I call it delete unused sheets, which I already have. So you can, when I give the name, up to you to name it. If it makes more sense to give other names, just go ahead. It's just a name. I don't really care a lot. To me, the simple name is delete unused sheets. Okay, so that should be try. Press cancel and I don't want to save this. Okay, maybe I save in the desktop. Delete. Okay, so this is how you delete unused sheets, and we're going back to previous week. Okay, you're safe already, right? So we're going to go back to previous week where we are going to create sheets again, but the method of creation will be different. Okay, so I want you to go and delete RM003 or whatever sheets that's still left. So A1, A2, you can just leave it there lah. But the one that you put some views on, you just go and delete that for the next part of the training. Okay, guys, I will send you guys an Excel file in the group chat. Okay, I'm going to send you the Excel file. We are. Okay, you can go and download that file. This is the file that we're going to use. So I send you an Excel file. Okay, so normally in your company or maybe in some of your projects, you will have the sheet list. Okay, so last week we created sheets based on the area of the room, which sometimes might not be what you want. Okay, it can be for some projects, some people you want it to be that way, whereas for other people they might have an Excel sheet list, and then we can bring the Excel sheet list into Revit, into Dynamo itself. Okay, so go and download the Excel file. And there is about 249 names, you reach 249 sheets lah, okay, in this Excel file. So the next thing we're going to learn is we're going to create sheets based on the Excel file here. Okay, so I need to minimize this Excel. We don't need it so early. Okay, you can just download and leave it aside. What we're going to do is press new and then bottom left manual again. Okay, so the way to import or to read data from Excel for Dynamo is this node called import Excel. Okay, so this is the node that we use. Okay, so the full name is called data.import Excel. Do I have spacing? Okay, so this is the node, and then when you look at it, you realize that this node requires so many input. Okay, so no worry, you go through the first one. So the first one is asking you where is the Excel file. Okay, so in order for you to specify where the Excel file is, you need to have this node called file.path. Wait, I think not dot, file spacing path. The file spacing path, and then you have it here. You need two nodes. Okay, these two nodes always, most of the time they come together. file from path. Okay, so one is called file path. Then after that, it'll be file from path, and this is the connection. Okay, this is how you will need to be able to read the Excel file.
Do I need to close the Excel file?
No, you can leave it open also can.
Okay.
Okay, so file path will allow you to browse, which you just click, like you just click, and wherever your Excel file is, where's my Excel file? Wait, I'm the one who sent it. So depending on where your Excel file is, go and hit and just click on the Excel file. Okay. Okay, and then obviously you expand because the name is so long, right? So it might expand. Okay. And obviously our com have different names, so it don't have to be the same name over here. And so whenever you need to bring data from Excel, you don't really have to understand what is file from path. Okay, you just need to know that it just comes after this thing called file path. That's all. And then it'll ask you, what is the sheet name? Okay, apparently you can decide. So in the Excel file, okay, if you work with Excel, you will know that the sheet name is this one now at the bottom. Okay, and this Excel file only got one sheet. Okay, so all you need to do is create a code block and then type sheet 1 without the spacing, because the Excel file here, sheet 1, no spacing, right? So you must also follow exactly what is written here. Okay, so this note requires you to tell them which page are you looking at in Excel. So you can just put sheet 1. Okay, and the next two notes that we can take, next two input that we need to look at is read as string and then show Excel. Okay, for read, so you will see if I point at the input, you will see BOL, right? BOL again is called Boolean, right? And the bottom one, show Excel, is also called Boolean. Okay, so what you need is actually a Boolean. Okay, and in fact, you need two Boolean. Okay, just put two lah. Oh, okay. Okay, so as I mentioned to you, actually this without you even connecting, right? It actually works already, because you can see if I point, it says the default value is false. If I point, the default value is true, which means that if you don't put anything by default, they will just run it in the settings that's applied in the node. Okay, so read as strings. Remember, strings is a text. So what does this node even ask this question? Okay, so in Excel there is so many formats. You got general, number, currency, so on and so forth. So they want to ask you, do you want to read everything as a text? If you don't read everything as a text, then whatever the user set inside the Excel file, okay, maybe the user put as short date, then this one put as currency. Okay, then you might have some problems in Dynamo. So it's always better to read as text. Okay, so I'm gonna put true, read as text. So read as strings lah, which is text. And then for show Excel, okay, basically what it means is every time you run the script, do you want Dynamo to open Excel for you? Okay, which to be frank, it can be up to you whether you want yes or no. Okay, there's no correct answer for this. Again, it means that if it's false, when you run the script, they will not open Excel. As in, they will not physically open in your desktop. Okay, the script will still go, the script will still run, be executed, but the Excel, they don't open it out on your screen. If you put true, okay, every time you run the script, this particular Excel will pop out on your screen. That's the only difference. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it as false. You can play with it later, so you can see the impact. Okay, so that's all you need. And then if you click, I'm going to put a watch note so that we can see what's coming out from the data. Okay, so I'm just going to press run. And you can see these are some of the data coming out from your Excel. Okay, so if I put the Excel side by side with the Excel now open, you see that I close the Excel, right? So if I want to be smarter, I press through and press run. Wait, hopefully it gives me the Excel. Yeah, see, it's so clever. It opened the Excel for me. So that's what happens when you press through. Okay, so just gonna put this here. So although it does extract the data from Excel, you also notice that it's in the left to right direction, which means that sheet name and sheet number is together in one group. This one and this one in one group. This one and this one in another group. Okay, which you will find there's going to be a problem later if this is how we read data. Okay, so we'll fix that later, and you'll encounter the issue later. Okay, so what we don't want here, when you look at this Excel, right? Okay, everything is a sheet number or a sheet name except column number 1, because if we're going to keep column number 1, it means that later when we create the sheet, right? When we create the sheet, okay, there will be one sheet called the sheet name, and another and the sheet number is called a sheet number, which doesn't make sense. So what we want to do in Dynamo is to remove the first row, because the first row is not a sheet. It's just like a header. So we want to remove the header. Okay. So the way to remove the first row, I'm going to teach you this note called remove item at index. Okay. So I'm going to plug in the watch node into the list because I want to remove something from the list, right? So as I mentioned to you in the last lesson, indices is the plural of index. Okay, so I got a question to ask you. If you look at list, is already we know what to put in, but for indices, which is asking for index, okay, in order to remove sheet name and sheet number totally, what should be the index that we're looking for?
2.
2. Okay, if you write 2, it means you are removing this one. Okay, so what you wanted is you would want 0. So if I put in 0, let's try and try. Okay, and then I put the watch node again, so you can see what's the output. Can you see what happens here? If you remove 0, okay, which is here, here still 0 still exists, right? Then at the right, sheet name and sheet number will be deleted. It will remove, it will remove. Okay, so you can, let's say you remove number 1, then this one will disappear. You see? Straight away, sheet name, sheet number is still there, then you jump to 0, 2. Okay, so this is for you to specify which index of items that you want to remove. Can still understand why we use 0? Because this is 0. Obviously, okay, these settings here, you will notice that if I set to list level 2, it will give you the same outcome. No, it will not even give you the same outcome. Sorry, it will give you the same outcome. See, you set to list level 2, the outcome is the same. They will remove the first one. So how do I know that by default, even if I don't set it right, how do I know that Dynamo is looking at list level 2? Okay, because when they remove, right, they remove this portion. See this line here? This line here is the grouping for sheet name, sheet number. So they're looking at this line, right? So where does this line belong? You look all the way down, you notice that this line belongs to at level 2. Okay, so when I say we use at level 2 and this is 0, it means at this level, index 0 is removed. This grouping is removed. Okay, that's why it's this level 2. But even if you don't put it, it will still turn out the same. So it doesn't matter. It's good that you don't have to do anything extra. Okay, and I'm not sure if you recall. Let me just find. Let me show you what you have. Okay, I'm gonna open up an Excel file. Sorry, a PDF file, which is lesson number 4, which I just sent you guys. Okay, before I continue, I want to share with you what is on lesson number 4. Oh my god, it's so blurred. Cannot see. Okay, anyway, when you want to create sheets, right? Okay, just imagine that you can see. Okay, when you want to create sheets, I will look at this particular node. Here, let me draw here. This is sheet, either sheet name or sheet number, doesn't matter. If this is sheet number, this is sheet name. Okay? And you realize all the sheet number is in one list or one group, and all the sheet name, sorry, that should be name, right? All the sheet name is in one list. That means they are in separate lists. Okay? But if you look at our current data, you realize sheet number, sheet name, sheet number, sheet name, sheet number, sheet name. So this is not going to work out when we want to create the actual sheets. Okay, so in order for us to kind of manipulate the data, what we need to use is called list transpose or transpose. Transpose, this one. Okay, so go find list transpose. Now, so once you find list transpose, you can just plug it in and just run it. So I'm going to explain to you, I don't explain, I'm just going to show you an image. What does list transpose actually do? So list transpose is like your matrix in your math. Okay, you have a set of data or numbers, and you want to swap the row and column. Okay, so list transpose actually does that. It's just like matrix in math, where you change the row to column. So for example, here are 3 columns, 2 rows. When you transpose something, it means 2 columns, 3 rows. That's what transpose is doing. Okay, so that's a simple explanation. And if you read the results after it was transposed, you realize that all the ABC come together, which is the sheet name. So this ABC is the sheet name. Okay, they belong in one consecutive groups, and then there's a separator in the between, which is representing all the sheet number or RECs are together. Okay, so this is what we would want. So the data is sorted, okay, but they are still together. Okay, what we want to do is we want to separate those that are ABCs and those that belongs to REC. Okay, so the way that we can separate them, okay, is we're going to use this thing called get item at index. Okay, so just now initially we used this thing called remove item at index. Now we are using get item at index. Very kind of very similar note. In fact, we're going to use 2 of them. Okay, so you can just put one up, one down. Okay, so when you say get item at index, I just want to show you what I'm going to put in. I'm going to show you the answer first so you can understand better. So I'm going to create a code block 0 and 1. Okay, so 0, one of them each, one each. Okay, doesn't matter which direction. So for the top one, I put 0, the bottom one, I put connect to 1 for the index. When I run it, okay, you will see that in 0, all the ABCs appear, and in index 1, all the REC appear. Okay, so what we just done is we separated the data into 2 separate lists, which we want, because when we remember, I showed the image just now, right? When we create, we're going to create the sheets later. Apparently, the sheet name and the sheet number must be in different lists, so we are separating them in different lists right now. Okay, This one, yours, do you understand? Or you're lost already?
Done.
Done, but understand?
0 and 1 is mean the list.
Index. So yeah, if I talk about, let me just screenshot this thing here. Okay. So if you talk about, if you put your list from here to here, right? Okay, then 0 will be talking about this one.
Is it
Then
above
1
the
will be,
0? 0 is AB, then all 0, 0.
you see this one, watch this 0. Okay, this is 0.
Mm.
So this thing goes here. Obviously,
Mm.
Okay.
obviously you need to scroll down lah. So if I scroll down, you will see. Okay. So after you transpose, right? Okay, look at this transpose. In terms of maths, right? I told you. Let me go and count. 498 divided by 2. Okay, 249 groups. So it's 249 rows and 2 columns. What we did is after you transpose, you count 2 columns, 249 rows. Right? That's what transpose does. So when you scroll, exactly in the halfway line, right? Okay, you will find the next list. You see here? List number 1, ma.
Mm.
Okay, so take this is the one number 1 to number 1. I'm taking index number 1, and then 0 will be 0. So again, you see, sometimes we don't have to set the list level. Okay, and I know this is list level 2. Okay, if you ask me 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, this is automatically set at list level 2. Why? Because look at where 0 is. 0 is this line in the mid in here, this portion, right? And this line belongs to level 2. So if I going to just to confirm it, if I set level 2, it will be the same result. Can you see the same result? Number of lists will kind of change here. Okay, but the results here are the same. Okay, so I already know that it sets list level 2 by default, which does the work for us, so we don't really have to change anything here. Okay, so the node to create sheet is the same one that we used last week. Okay, it's called by name number. Okay, this one. A very weird name. So the way to create sheet is by name, number, title block, and view. You just type any of these characters in sequence, you can find it. Once you find, you just leave it there. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to continue. Before I create the sheets, I just want to re-explain this portion here so that you guys are clear about your getting items at index. So this portion, okay, we already gone through this, and we connected after list transpose. What if I were to connect the list when it's before the list transpose? Okay, so if I click run, okay, can you see what happens here? So the same 0 is on top, 1 is at the bottom, right? So when you say list get item at index, right? Before the transpose, you can see ABC and REC01. Why? Because this is 0, ma. Yeah, sorry, I closed it. This is 0. Okay, it will take this one into as your output. And then the next one, list get item index for index 1. Index 1 is this one. So we take these two. That's why you see these two results. Okay, but obviously we don't need this portion that is before the transpose. I'm just explaining to you in case your data is like that, then you want to get something out. This is how you read it. Okay, so this one is not what we want. So again, this shows very clearly, this note shows very clearly why we want to split into 2 lists, because no choice. Okay, the sheet name is one input, the sheet number is another input. So before we even be able to create a sheet, we need to be able to separate the data out into 2 separate lists. So this one go to sheet name, this one go to sheet number. Okay. And for title block family types, title block. Apparently it doesn't. Title block types. Okay. Okay. So last week what we used, right? We used this thing called family types. Okay. When we create the sheets we use to define the title block, we used family type last week. Apparently there's this thing called title blocks types, which is a bit more, it's filtered lah. So they only go and filter title blocks for you. Okay, whereas the family type is going to show all kind of family inside Revit, then you need to find the title block. Okay, so you can use this one, which is already a filtered one, title block types. So what you need to type is title block types. Yep, you just type the space bar, not full stop. Okay. So I mentioned to you that the creator of this note, okay, wants you to include a view. Okay, so you can just put views with the S. If you don't put S, the search result is a bit different. So put the S. Once you put the S, it's the first one. If you don't put the S, I don't know which one is. It's like somewhere else. Okay, so put the S behind. It's easier for you to find. So all we need to do is just put an empty view, which is our empty view is called drafting one. If you forgot, we created a blank drafting view. There's nothing inside. Okay, then we just connect to views. And hopefully it works, right? Hopefully everything is what we need. So this is how you would get your data, your sheet creation through Excel. So if you don't believe, you can just run it. I believe it will work. Hopefully. Okay, it will take about 10 seconds to create. So just let it do its job. Okay, if it's successful, you will see the sheet and just let me know whether it's successful or not lah.
Done.
Done. Okay. So to tell whether your computer is slow or not, you can measure the time it takes to run now. Okay, so so this method that we learn now, okay, I don't know whether it's better for you guys or not, but this is a method where you can create from your sheet list, and hopefully your sheet list is not from the Microsoft Word lah. It's an Excel format, got table one. Okay, I know some companies use the sheet list as Word document. If your sheet list is a Word document, you cannot do. You copy in the Microsoft Word, copy to Excel, then you bring Excel to that Dynamo, then Dynamo
If
to Revit.
our short drawing list is like not only these two rows, we have other
Can be any number of rows. Yes, correct.
but the other column is not regarding to the not related to the numbering
Okay.
the sheet number.
Okay, yeah, sure. So for example, you have useless things. Oops. Okay, you have your useless data. Okay, so
Yeah.
you have so many other things inside, but you're not going to use them.
Mm.
Okay, so we actually not going to use them because, okay, we look at our script again. Okay, we only pick out two things, okay, which is 0 and two things are because 0 and 1 is one each. There's two items, two set of lists that we take out. Imagine, okay, so that's the answer. Okay, I'm not gonna, yeah. So, yes, if you have more useless thing at the back, it does not affect this current script because this current script look at row number 1,
Column 1.
row number 2. Yeah, so only the first two rows will be selected. Okay, so that's why. Okay, which I actually did want to test you guys. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Okay, so let's open up the Excel, right? We're going to do some amendments to Excel. But before we do amendment to Excel, please go and undo this portion here. Undo the Revit, because once you create, you cannot press the button again, right? So just go and undo so that the sheets are not yet created. Okay, no problem. Just leave it there. once you are done with that, I want you to go to Dynamo. The last node, you right click and press freeze. So remember, freeze means don't do it. Okay, don't run that particular node or the node from there on. Okay, so a little challenge. Okay, so once you undo in Revit, once you freeze your node in Dynamo, the last node, you can open Excel, and I'm going to call this, let's call this third one as description. Okay, sometimes you have things that, there are other things in your sheet list, right? So maybe there's thing called description. I'm just going to type some rubbish inside. Okay, I don't know what rubbish. Maybe I type something shorter. ASD. I think I do this. Okay.
Level 1, level 2 lah.
Level 1, level 2. Okay. Level 1. I'm going to drag maybe halfway, then I go do some level 2 lah. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah, level 1, level 2. So level 1, and then you drag halfway. And then level 2, you drag the remaining. So let's pretend there's some other things inside that you wanna add to your sheet list. So once you
Why you not auto one?
want auto what?
No lah, level 1 should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this ma. You select.
Level 1 to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then got 200 over levels, cannot be what? Huh?
Yeah, never mind lah.
Oh, you are the one wrong, then you say I wrong.
No, I want to say that just a differentiate that level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Up to you lah, because don't make sense. But it's okay. Both, whatever you write, it doesn't matter. Okay. So let's assume okay, there's a lot of projects that I've known that other than the sheet name and sheet number, right, they also want more data inside the sheet. So for example, let's take a look at the Revit sheet, right? So the Revit sheet can contain approved by who, designed by who, checked by who, drawn by who, so on and so forth. Okay. So sometimes there are a lot of projects that they want to add additional information into the sheet. Okay, let's just do that. So inside Revit, you go to Manage tab, you go to Project Parameters. You go. This one you should know. If you don't know, you just let me know. I just fast forward this portion. I'm going to type it as description, right? Description. Instance sheets here. Okay, so we are going to create a parameter called description inside our sheet. So you go to Manage tab, you go to Project Parameters, you click on Add. Just type description for the name, search for sheets. Your typewriter must be text, by the way. This is important. This one, this response. Okay, so that's all. Make sure you click on sheets also lah. So if you set it to other things, it might not work with like integer number, because remember the data that we read from Excel, what did we do? We asked Dynamo to read it as a text, right? Then obviously text can only go to text, text cannot go inside a number or any of these options here. So it definitely is a text. So press OK, press OK. So now in your sheet, you will see a new parameter called description. So we are going to input values from Excel into the description parameter, okay, which is in our Excel also called description lah. So level 1 or level 2 or whatever levels that you have, we want to immediately put it, when we create the sheets, we want to put the information into the sheet also. Okay, so they can be, so in terms of usefulness, it can be other things. For example, your first sheet is called beam schedule. Instead of level, you can put beam schedule, column schedule. So instead of retyping this into the sheet each time, you can bring it as part of Excel. Okay, doesn't matter lah. You don't have to follow what I do, but Just going to bring some data here. So you can imagine any kind of data that you want to bring in into your sheet. Okay, I shall just leave it over here. So first you need to remember to save your Excel. If you don't save, then it will not reflect the new column called C. So just going to save your data. Okay, so once you save your data, I'm just going to open up Dynamo again. And I'm going to tell you what you need. It will be set parameter. Set para. Okay, which we used before when we did our DOS, right? We always use set parameter value by name. Okay, so you connect your sheets. After you create a sheet, your sheet will have the output called sheet. So the sheet is the elements. And what's the parameter name? Okay, you need to type it in capital letter because when I create a parameter, it's all capital. So you need to follow. Follow as in follow whatever you type in your parameter. Okay, so after you do this, right, set parameter by name. Okay, the only thing that I didn't tell you is the value. Okay, so I'm just going to give you some time to try what should be connecting to value. The answer is not yet on the screen. Okay, you must do a few things. You must create a few additional nodes. Then you plug it into value. Okay, I give you 5 minutes to try this. So you have until 8:15 to create something that can plug inside this last input here. Okay.
I think mine done.
What? You are done?
I done lah.
Done. Okay, good.
You try. You want to see?
We are won't pay you done?
没有，我都不懂要做什么。
Huh?
Is
Oh,
it 要将那个 description 的 level 那些进去？
okay. It's okay. So basically what our task is, we want to put, you see the Excel file, we create this column called description, right? So we want to put this information, whatever it is here, into the sheet with a parameter that we created called description. So we just want to make sure that it comes automatically into, it is brought over here. It means that this one should be called beam schedule or something automatically when it's created. Okay, that's our my task for you lah. So don't worry about that. Okay, so
Should be correct.
yeah, you can share with me your script, then I take a look.
Share.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. So you did correctly already. So what happens is you put another get item and index because it's the third row, right? So 0, 1, the next one will be number 2 lah. So you define the third row. So once you get the values from the third row, you can just plug it into values. Okay, so what you did is correct. And you run it already?
Yeah, run already.
Okay, so you see when you run it, you see the description has been updated to be whatever number it is lah, right? So that's when you know it's working. So that is why I teach you one additional step is to add information, because nowadays people like to add information into the sheet also. Okay, so yeah, good. I'm going to share the answer a while so Woonpei can get the answer here. So basically what you need is another of this, get item index, but you need one more number, so which is number 2. Okay, you just plug it here. Correct. Okay, and then you make sure to unfreeze. Yeah, now it's very messy, right? So if you already know that it's working, right, then you can just, you know, put them nicer if you want to. Okay, so I will just make a little neater here, and I just press run. Okay, I just press run. Okay, so this is the right answer. You should have another list get item index, and then the index you just got a +1. That will be fine. Woonpei, yours working? Can I? Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hey. Or is it I cannot hear you or?
Because mute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so okay. Everything right. So assuming you have more information that you want to put, okay, all you need to do is just to make it longer. So this is for description. Maybe you have something else. I don't know. The scale of the view 1 is to 100, 1 is to 50. You can do this. Okay. This is an example lah. The Excel never really update, but I'm just going to show you what can be done. So you just connect with another one. Obviously, it's not description. This one must be something else lah. Maybe scale, right? So here. So this is how you would continue for more parameters that you need. You just continue this way. Okay, which we going to delete for now. Okay, so you can save this file again. You save it once. Wait. Yeah, you can save this file. And yeah, It's called Create Sheets from Excel. Okay, so once you save, good. Save in desktop. Okay, so once you have saved the script, you can just close it. So the next thing that we're gonna do is something that Vivian did ask me. So I'm just gonna show you what we're planning to do for the next script. So assuming that you want to tag some elements in your view, you want to tag like door tag, window tag, or whatever fire equipment tags you will need to tag. Okay, so I'm looking at level 1 of this project. Okay, the door tags are there. So what I'm going to do is just going to delete all the door tags, right? So I delete all the door tags. So my level 1 don't have door tags anymore. So maybe your task that you want to do is you want to tag all the doors, which is very simple because you go annotate, then you press tag all. Okay, however, let's have some criteria. Maybe you only want to tag the door that is a single swing. Those that are double swing, you don't want to tag, only want to tag single swing. Then you cannot use tag all because tag all means tag all lah, so it doesn't work. So the other method you can do in Revit is you click on one of the doors that you want. For example, this type of door is the door that wants to be tagged. You right click, you press select all instances visible in view. Okay. This door probably different size, it's not highlighted. You go to the bottom, you go press the glasses, you press isolate element. Okay, only got 2 pieces lah in the whole level 1. And then once you isolate, you can press tag all. Okay. Tag, door tag. Alright. Okay, so once you isolate and you tag, right? Okay, and you reset, you see that. See, only this door is tagged. This is a room tag, not a door tag. So this door is not tagged, right? So this is how you would do in Revit if you have a particular type of door that a particular size or type of door that you would want to tag. So obviously the downside to this method is if I want single swing, but I want to apply to different size, okay, then I need to click on this door because this door different size ma. Right click, do the same step over and over again, depending on how many types I have of a different size. Then it also becomes a bit tedious. So if that is your scenario, okay, what I'm going to teach you is we're going to do multiple tags at the same time, but there'll be a criteria to remove a certain family type. Okay. The first tag we're going to do is we're going to do room tag. So what I need to do, we're not do door first, we focus on room tag first. Okay, so level 1, everything has room tag. So I want you to click on the room tag, you go and press S and then press A. Okay, you click on room tag, press S and A, you press delete. Okay, then all the text will disappear. So in reverse, what we're trying to do here is, next script is we're going to create room tags. Okay, so just delete everything. Okay, you do not delete anything, just tell me, I'll show you again. Okay, so I tell you that it will be a criteria when we create a room tag, right? Okay, later when we create a room tag, I just undo a bit here. Okay, when we create a room tag, we are only going to create room tags for those rooms that are called instruction room. So if I look back, if I undo, okay, there are some instruction rooms at the bottom here. Okay, so hopefully when we run the script, only those that are called instruction rooms will be tagged. Those that are not called instruction rooms will not be tagged. Okay, so I'm just going to redo so that every of the room tag is deleted here. Okay, let's go back to Dynamo and new script, set to manual. Okay, so Okay, so last time when we did something similar, we use this node called all elements in active view. Okay. When we did our doors, right? For level 1, level 2, level 3, renaming of doors. Okay, for the mark parameters, we use this node called all elements in active view, which we can use. Later I'll show you another one, but we just keep to this one first. Okay. And okay, this is a bit, yeah. So when you working on all elements in active view, right? Okay, make sure you're looking at 01 dash entry level. You're not looking at the sheets A1, because active view, you're looking at a sheet or looking at a view got difference one. So make sure you are at the view, not at the sheet. So this should be the right place you are at in Revit. Okay, that's what I mean by active view lah. Okay, and once you press run for all elements in active view, they will show you all the elements that exist in your view, which is 1,000 over elements there. So previous time we filtered for doors. Now this time we're going to filter for rooms. Okay. So how we did the filtering is we use get parameter value, get parameter value by name, and then we search for their categories. Okay. And then it will turn yellow. That's fine. Okay. Last week we also had some yellow things appearing. That's okay. And I'm going to speed up a little bit because this is similar to what we did last week. Okay, where we use this node called category name. We use the equal sign. Oops. Okay, so the only difference between this week and last week is last week was doors, but now we are searching for rooms. So the categories should be set to rooms. Rooms, rooms. Okay. So what we essentially doing in the first few steps is we are searching for all the things that are in the active view, which contains a lot of rubbish that we don't want, right? So we want to ask Dynamo, can you just filter down to the rooms, okay? So when you put equal sign, it means that, inside this category name, there's so many, if I press F5 to run it, there's walls, there's curtain walls and things like that, but we only want to find those that are in the room, that belong to room category. So that also means that this equal signs will give you true false value, and when you have true false value, you always use filter by bool, right? Always the same node. Okay. Just put this. All right. So once you put the Boolean mask into the list filter by Boolean mask, your list you can take from all elements in active view. Okay, this is taught last week. If you don't know why, just ask me again if you don't know why it's from here. Okay, so what happens when you do that? Okay, when you put the watch node for the in and out of the output, okay, you see one of them will have contains all the rooms, and the other one contains things that we don't really want. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so obviously the one that is out, we don't want anymore because they contain the useless category. We want to focus on those that we collect as part of the rooms. Okay, so the bottom one, you can just remove it. And so we have the elements, for the rooms. Okay, we're going to filter by room name. So what we're going to do is the next one should be room dot name. Okay, so that we get the name of the rooms that we just collected. There's 31 rooms on level 1, and we just want to figure out what's their name. Okay, that's why we put in room name. Okay, and this one you should by now already know how to use. For example, if you want to, remember now we said that we want the instruction rules to be tagged. So we put the string contains, and then we search for instruction. Without the S, wait, let me think of S or not. Instructions. I think in Revit got S one, so no, there's no S. So instruction. If you put an S, you will get a different result. So just be careful with that. So when you have string contains, it ends with a bool, and when it ends with a bool, you use the same exact node filter by boolean mask. Okay, again, I mentioned to you this node is one of the more common one that you will use all the time in your script. Okay, bool will always go to mask, and then again, the only question is what connects to list. Okay, so we will be collecting the elements back. Okay, we don't need to collect the name. Now the name collection is right here. Okay, in string contains. So that's already handled properly. So we just want the elements back. Okay, I'm gonna put the watch node again just to make sure you see, you get to see the results here. Okay. You can't really see the result because in and out also called room. Okay, if you really want to see the results temporarily, okay, you can connect from here. Right, you connect room name to list. You press run, you can see all the names that are from instruction is shown instruction. So this tells you that what you want is the top one, not the bottom one. That means you want the int, in. So this one is connect back again. So again, I just use this example because this is to prove that it works. Because if you connect straight from here, okay, for a beginner, everything will be called room. Then you don't know whether you got the you are looking at is the instruction room at the top or instruction room at the bottom. You might get confused. So if you are confused for a little bit, you just plug the later node just to see the results first. Then you know, okay, this is the top one. That is the node that you want. So you connect back. Okay. Okay, so now we have these 6 rooms that we want to create tag in level 1. And how to create tag is you need to use this called create a notation tag. Okay, then you realize, wow, this annotation tag needs so many things that can work. Okay, which we will go through slowly. Let's go through. Let's talk about location. Okay, so you have 6 rooms, and Dynamo is asking you, yeah, we know you want to tag 6 rooms, but where do you want to place the tag? And the tag can be anywhere in the screen. So where do you want to place it? So one simple way to quickly define where to place the tag, okay, we can use this node called let me see, element location. So you go find element location. Sorry, wrong already. Room location, not element location. Okay, so when you look at this node called room location, you will see that the output is a point. So you might be wondering, how come a room is a point? A room is like a field region, it should be one big square or a rectangle. How is a point? It's because in Revit, you see the X, right? In every room, the intersection of the X is the point. Okay, so when you use that node, that's where it's referring to lah. So if you go and for some reason go and move this to the corner, then that's where your tag will be. Okay, at the corner lor. So it depends on where is the intersection of the invisible room. Okay. So most of the time it will be center lah. Okay, so that's what it means by the point. Okay, before I press run. I want to show you a result of what's happening. Just look at my screen. Okay, I already run. I put in room collection. I already press run. Okay, and before I go back to Revit, you will see the output for a point is basically a set of x and y axes. Okay, so in Revit there's hidden numbers or survey coordinates system in Revit as well. So they need this for the location. Okay, so what happens is when you run, whenever you want to create a point, right, and you press run, even without you creating a tag, okay, it will actually show up in Revit one. Okay, you see the blue square? Okay, very small one. Cannot zoom also never go bigger. So those blue squares are the 6 points that is illustrated in Dynamo. So I got six output here, right, for points. So even before creating, they will already inform you where you're gonna create. And if you point at it, you will notice this is again at the intersection of each room location. Okay, just to prove that it is working that way. Going back to Dynamo. So the point, you can just go to tag location. They're asking you where do you want to put your tag. So you just have to reply that this is the point or the location that I want to put a tag. So that is one. I just want you to freeze this node, the create a notation tag. Freeze first because we need to put so many things inside. So wait until we are done with everything, then we unfreeze. Okay, so just freeze the last node. For tag type, they're asking you what family you're going to use because room tag got so many types of tag, right? So you can put family types and then you search for the room tag. Okay, so in this case, the room tag name is called m_room tag. m_room tag. And then you choose up to you which one. You want the room tag with area, with volume, you can just click. I'm just going to put as room tag. Okay, so this is basically asking you what tag type you want to use. So you guys specify from the family types. And then when it comes to elements, okay, you can directly plant. Remember this set of rooms that we have, these are elements, right? So it's a one-to-one, just plug inside from the elements to elements. Okay? Or still okay to this point?
Yes, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
huh?
Okay.
Okay. So then they will ask you what view. Okay, why they will ask this question is because we have multiple views for example, level one can be level one column schedule, level one beam things, level one something, right? So there can be many same level views. So you need to define to Revit which view are you creating on. Okay, so even though you're looking at this view, right? Okay, if you go and specify as 02 dash floor, okay, the tag can appear on 02 dash floor one. So make sure to specify this one over here, which I'm going to show you how. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So one easy way to specify views, you can use the views, right? Which you used before lah, huh? We went to click on drafting one, right? So instead of drafting one, you can find the exact room name. Okay, the thing about this is, you see, I just I just going to quickly show you a comparison. Apparently, when I put views, okay, you can see there is 01 dash entry 1. But the funny thing is there are 3 of it when there's only, in Revit, there's only 1 of it, right? So how do you know which one to click? I also don't know lah. Okay, so sometimes this node will give you a problem. So I'm going to teach you another node that will be slightly better. Okay, so that node is called document current. Let me just bring this further so I can put it here. Okay, document current. After document current, right, you need to put document active view. Okay, so this is all you need. These two nodes. Once the first node is called document current, which doesn't need an input, it will just directly be output. The output will connect to document.active view. Can find the nodes?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you run this, I'm just going to run to show on my screen. You will see that document.active actually shows the view that I'm looking at right now. So better than just now that one, the views, right? Okay. Where they ask us to choose, okay, then we might choose not the correct one lah, because you don't know, got 3 options here, right? So this one might work better in this case because they specify one particular view to do. So the views go to views. Okay, yeah, let me see. Okay, and actually the link instance you don't have to use because you don't have a link file. The door is inside the project, right? So you don't even have to use link instance. And this thing called run it is very lame one. Okay, run it means you are freeze or unfreeze. So this creator, as you can see again, this is uniquely created by a third party. It's not by Autodesk. So the run it means you can put a boolean. Okay, boolean here, and it literally means what it says. Okay, so when run it is false, it means don't create a tag. If run it is true, create a tag, which is equals to freeze or unfreeze. Just that the person who create this, they go and, instead of asking the user to freeze or unfreeze, you can also put a boolean to decide to freeze or unfreeze. That's about it. Okay, so when running is true, you create a tag. When it's not true, then the tag is not created. Okay, before you press, okay, it's end of the script, but before you press, before you press anything, press the run. Okay, tell you what, you put the boolean to false, okay, so that it doesn't run. Okay, just I want to do some other things. I'll just show you some other things first. So the boolean set to false, so that when you press run later, it doesn't actually create a tag yet because it's false. False don't create a tag. Okay, I want you to use the same node. So this document current and document active view, you copy it. You can Control C, Control V. So you just Control C when you select both of them. Go all the way to the front of the script. You press Control V, and then you put it here. That's on top. Okay. So once you have this, okay. So document active view is the same as, almost the same lah. All elements in active view. The active view should refer to the same thing because in Revit there's only one. There can only be one active view at a time. So they're actually referring to the same view. Okay, I'm going to introduce another node which is faster than doing this. You see this portion that we did here earlier? Okay, we can shorten the script a little bit, and that node to do that is called collector dot element. Wait, how to spell? Wait, let me find the exact spelling first. I think it's called elements in view. Okay. So the node that does the work much faster is this thing called collect.elements in view. Okay.
Okay.
So this is much easier because view is go to view, and they ask you what you want to see. So you want to see your rooms, so you just type rooms. Rooms I think got S. Wait, I got S or not? Rooms got S. Okay, so sometimes you don't know whether to have plural or singular. You need to check. So it says ROM, right, the category. So you must put the S here. In fact, sorry, if you don't want to do that, you can just plug here also can. See? Yeah. Here already got room, so you just plug if you want. Or if you don't want, you feel that you crisscross here and there, you can just type room up to you which one you want. Okay, so it does the same. And then the refresh, we don't really have to put anything because the default answer is true. Refresh means, let's say you run demo script, then after you go back to Revit, you go and create more rooms or they go and delete the rooms. So they ask you want to refresh the result or not. So the result is, the boolean is actually set to yes. So you're going to keep refreshing as long as you update. So let's not put anything there. So I'm just going to press run to show you what actually happens. So you can see here, okay, with these 3 sets of nodes, okay, they already collect all the rooms you have already. Room elements, collect elements in view by a category. So instead of doing this long chunk here, okay, this chunk is the same as this chunk here. Okay, you can right click and click on method 1, and this is actually method 2. Okay. I can't really say that method 1 is lousy. Maybe it has some usage. Okay. Okay. So the only thing I can say about this is method 1 uses all from Autodesk one. That means you don't download any package, also can do. Method 2 requires you to use nodes that are from some other people. That means you're going to need to download their package. So I guess that's one minor differences between the two methods. Maybe today you not using the laptop. Maybe you use your colleague's laptop. Then the package not downloaded. So if the package not downloaded, then you can use method 1. If it's your own personal laptop, then method 2 because you already downloaded the package before. So that is one thing that you can consider. So the question here is, if you were to use node 2, where do you start to connect here? Okay, I'm going to tell you the answer, so don't need to think. So if you look carefully, right, 31 rooms and 31 rooms, it means that whatever this thing is connecting to, this one also can connect already. Okay, so this one can come here and this one can go here. Hopefully, I'll just press run to check the results. Yeah, it is the same thing. Slightly different. It's like very small differences that I want you to fix. Okay, this although both of them show 31 rooms, look at the layers of the list. This one got L3, L2, L1. This one only got L2, L1, which means this is a group inside a group, and inside the group got some elements, which is not really an ideal situation that we want our data. So before, we also used this one before called a list flatten. So you just put list flatten should be fine already. Okay, so if I put list flatten, it means that you remove unnecessary layers. So this is a group inside a group, then you contain element rich. Makes no sense because you need one group, why only group twice? So you can use the list flatten node and then use the list flatten to connect forward. Okay, so that would be much better. Okay, so then you realize that, you know what, it's the same. Once you list flatten, it's exactly the same as the bottom one that we did just now. Okay, and one last thing before I allow you to run is, the reason why I teach you this method is, just now we copy and paste document current, and we also copy and paste active view. Right, if we copy and paste means it exists twice, right? So it also means that we already have this already. Why we need to do it twice? So we can delete this one. Remember the one at the annotation tag? You delete this one. Instead, you just connect from method 2 here. You connect, go very, very far, and then you put to fuse. Okay, because we don't do 2 times. By the way, the more nodes you use, the slower it will be done. So just imagine that way. So if you already have the nodes, you can try not to repeat the nodes so that it'll be faster. Obviously, when I say faster, it's about less than 1 second faster. It might make no difference to you. Okay. Also, another thing, just in case you misunderstood, is you put here. You put your node far apart or you put a node closer, right? It has no impact on how fast, how slow. I'm just saying how fast, how slow is impacted by the number of nodes that you use. Whether they are here or here, the distance don't matter. The nodes matter. Okay, so you can connect from document on active view and then connect all the way here. Okay, so ultimately that is all we need. We switch. The only thing you need to do is switch this to true. Okay, switch to true, and then you press run. It will create. You see, 6 room tags only because there's only 6 instruction rooms. Okay, so do let me know if you get the same outcome.
Yes. Same.
Excellent. So,
Okay, done.
can Vivian, yours okay?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that's all I need to share with you today. Yeah, that's all. Okay, can. So you can save this file, and you can save this as tag rooms in view. You save already. Just let me talk for 3 minutes. So. Okay, so save already.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to share with you something that you may wonder in the future. Okay, so another method that we can do, right? Because we're talking about the current view. The current view is level 1, right? So the other method that we could have done, right, is the usual method, elements or all elements of category, right? Category here. So this shall be rooms. So I'm just showing you the kind of like the third method, but I'll tell you why this method that we always use is not the best in this scenario. So last time we have these rooms and then all elements categories, we have 91 rooms, okay, because they are not level 1 yet. So we can say get a parameter or para. Is it get para value by name, and then we get based on their level. So we only want those that are level 1, right? So I just see if it works. Yeah, so here. So we have 90 rooms, but level 1 only got 30 plus rooms, so we want to filter them. So string contains, and before I string contain, I need object from string, string from object, Okay, so all this you understand, right? Search for level 1. Search for 01 dash 01 enough. Don't need to type so long. Okay, candidate. Make sure to do this. Okay, then use the filter by boolean mask. Okay, so we can do this method also, but I'll tell you why this method not the best. Okay, so here. Okay, see here. See, already after I filter, I have 31 rooms, which is the same as above. Whatever we get is 31 rooms that are on level 1 that needs to be tagged. Needs to be filtered and tagged. Okay, why is this method not good? Is because just because your element is on level 1, right, doesn't mean it is seen in the view. Okay, for example, you can right click, duplicate view, duplicate detailing, or duplicate whatever, like you duplicate your same level, right? Then maybe your view range different one. Maybe this one view range 3000, this one 1.5. So obviously when you change this value, let's think of it as not rooms lah. Let's think of it as some objects. Okay, so when you change the value, some objects will disappear and some objects will remain. Correct? Still can understand, huh? So when you have views, duplicated views, and the view range are different, the things that you can see will be different. For example, I have a table here, or maybe I have a table. Okay. Oh, cannot see table. Oh, I'll do what? Let me put these things. Okay, put column. So maybe in instruction room 1, the column you can see in this entry level copy number 1. But in your entry level, maybe your view range different. You cannot see the object. Maybe you cannot see this column over here, right? So ultimately, what you want to tag, right? I believe what you want to tag is things that you can see. You don't want to go and say things that are on level 1. Okay, what if the thing is on level 1, but inside your level 1 view cannot see the item 1? Then you obviously don't want to tag it because inside your view, although the item is on level 1, you cannot see inside the view. So the benefit of using this thing called anything that says active view, okay, if you don't get to see the element, even though the element is on level 1, it will Dynamo will not detect it. Dynamo will immediately remove the option from you. Whereas if you were to use the bottom method where you filter to things that are on level 1, okay, I filter to things that are on level 1. Just because it's level 1 does not mean that it appears in the view that you want to tag. Simply put it. Okay, so a bit long-winded, but that's why we don't use not say don't use, up to you, you see whether it works well for you. But for me, for what we want to do, I believe the top 2 methods are much better, much more clean. Okay, no mistakes to be made. Okay, so yeah, any questions? I have nothing to say already.
No, for me, no.
Okay.
For me is the thing I show you is the beam. The beam size different size. Oh.
The beam are of different size, right? So
Yeah, I only need the big size one. Like maybe the depth is more than how many thousand, 1,000, or width more than 1,000 like that.
okay, so what you need to change is the front part don't need to change one. If you're talking about that, so
Okay.
the back part here, okay, what we did was we filter by the room name. Okay, whereas what you want is by the depth size and whatever size, right? So what you need to do is imagine that this is your column, what beam, beam, or you need your beam, right? So you need to
Wait. I close my door first. Wait.
cannot faster.
Okay.
Okay. So it's only the back you need to change. The front don't need to change. Okay. So imagine that this is a set of beams already. So you are saying the big beams you don't want, right? So what you need to do is to find the size of the beam. Okay, I don't know beam is what. Maybe it's width or depth or don't know. So imagine the size you're looking for is the width of the beam. So if it's too big, you tack it. If too small, you don't tack it. Something like that, right? So once you get your beams inside a list, you can use get element parameter value by name, and then you set the criteria lah. So the reason why I told you only the back need to change is because this criteria is by the room name. If the room name is equals to whatsoever, then we tag it. So in this case, you want to do it by size, right? So you need to find the size of the object first. Then you do something like, is it bigger than I don't know, your width? Is it bigger than 3,000? Remember just now we did something like that. If it's bigger than 3,000, we want to tag. If it's smaller than 3,000, we don't want to tag. So it'll be along this sequence. Okay?
Okay.
Can understand? Okay. Yeah. So any other question? No, no. Then, thank you so much. I will put the video in the YouTube, but confirm nobody watch one. If you got question, you confirm just call me and ask, right? So,
Now like you send to us lah.
huh?
You
Okay,
send you upload to the YouTube, then you have to share the.
I will still upload YouTube lah, so I can gain some views. Okay, good. Very good. Anyway, yeah, thank you
Then
for
we all keep quiet already lor.
why. I tell you, nobody. If you got question, you confirm don't watch YouTube one. You don't watch video one. You confirm just call me and ask one. So don't pretend that you watch the video. Nobody watch one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. For attending and see you next week.
Okay, thank you.
Bye bye.
Mm.